Hi, I'm demonstrating how to make masks. These are a couple. Um, this one is actually from my own face, which I'm not going to do. Lovely, huh? Um, this one I started with like a preform that looks a lot like this, but it gets expensive when you have to buy a whole bunch of these. So I'm just going to build one like it on top of it. So get rid of this. I'm going to use a mask like this, which I bought at the craft store, and then I'm going to cover it with this paper cloth, which comes in a roll like this. And then what I do is I snip it into smaller little pieces. I have a dish of water right here, and what I do is, I'm trying to do this with one hand, cover over the preform. And I'll try to smooth it down. It doesn't really take that long to dry. And when I get to the edge, I can fold it over. It's not easy to do this with one hand. Okay. And so this one was completely filled. It's still a little damp. I'll be pulling it off soon. Okay, I have it almost done. The bad part about this one is this form is actually made of plastic. The bad thing about it being plastic is it takes the plaster a little bit longer to dry. This one seems to be made out of cardboard. The nice thing about it is the air is flowing through it and it'll dry faster. However, it's the original form, because it's getting damp, is losing its form. So I'm trying to secure it by setting it on top of this box. Okay, now I'm trying to get like some little edges. Again, I'm trying to do this with one hand. Okay. Like I can take a little piece like this and maybe put it close to the eye. But I don't want to fold the plaster over the edge because that'll make it hard for me to pull it off. And it's okay if it's not perfect. This is only part one. I plan to take paper mache and coat over this. Now I'm working on the full mask. This one has a lot of little details on it, like these lips. It kind of looks a bit like an alien. So I'm going to press to make sure I get all that detail in there. And again, if I get too close to the eye, it's better to fold it back, not fold it over in there. Okay. I pulled off the first mask. I mean, it's pretty fragile, it's still damp, so I'm just going to set it over here to dry some more. And I started to lay some plaster strips on this one. As you can see, I'm using a plastic lid to keep water from messing up my table. But what I plan to do is, I mean, it does take time for them to dry and be prepared, so I'm just kind of mass producing them so our guests don't have to build them themselves. They'll have them already ready to decorate. So when I lifted the plaster off of the paper mask started to tear, and I still want to use this, so I'm going to take a little bit of petroleum jelly, and I'm just going to smear it over this mask, and that should keep the next layer from sticking to it. I think because my half mask preform is kind of becoming flimsy because it's made out of paper and not plastic, I'm going to try to build the same kind of form over on the full mask and see what I get. So good news was that I was looking around and I actually found more plaster strips and 2 more of the matte forms. And I don't know, I wasn't thinking outside the box, but last time I did this, I not only covered that side of the mask, but I also turned it inside out and was using the inside so I could get 2 masks at the same time. Totally forgot I did that. Okay, so I took those masks and I'm running out of my plaster strips, so I'll have to go buy some more. But this one I made a partial mask on, and then I filled the inside, so I'm getting 2 masks out of this one. I'm back. You know, as an artist, we're always trying to fix things and invent things and do things differently if it doesn't work out. So I'm just going to talk about what I have here. This was the mask that I did on the outside surface of the mask, the positive form. And this is the one that's done on the inside. So it's like from the negative form of the mask. Just wanted to show you the difference. And yet that's still just, you know, straight plaster cloth. This one I covered with the newsprint paper, and it is kind of thick. The newsprint with the Mod Podge. I don't like the rough edges. I mean, as far as thickness, it's very sturdy, but I don't like that rough edge. So what I'm going to do is try doing the outside in tissue paper. Drips. It's one-handed. So I think this is going to be the mask I'm going to decorate. It doesn't look that pretty if you're looking up close, but it's very sturdy. I tried to see if I could make a mask with just the paper mache, and as you can see, it's pretty flimsy. It's kind of flexible because the Mod Podge is what's kind of holding it together. Kind of has a plasticky feel to it, but I'm not going to use that. One of the things I'm probably going to start with is I want to glue like a dowel rod onto the side, so it'd be like the kind of mask you would hold with your hand with the dowel. I was going to use this chopsticks because we have some vaguely Asian people that like to eat with chopsticks in this family. You should try it sometime. It's actually easy to eat with one hand versus knife and fork and 2 hands. But I think I'll use this small skewer and of course break the tip off because we don't want anyone getting hurt. I want to decorate that too. So I was looking for some ribbon in my house and I found this one. Okay, I'll try that. Maybe glue it to the stick, and then I'll attach that later on after I'm done decorating the mask. Using a hot glue gun would probably be the easiest way to do it. So I put some black paint in my Chobani cup, and I'm using a tin can for to rinse the brush out in. You know what I like about tin cans? I know, yes, I'm recycling, but these ridges on the edge make a nice squeegee. So when I'm just trying to dry the brush, just run it on the edge. This is acrylic paint, and I'm doing this with one hand again. I'm just going to make a base coat of black on this mask, and then I'll just put some nice colors on it later. So here's my mask. It's all painted black, and instead of using the skewer stick, I decided to wrap that that chopstick with a different kind of ribbon. And how I did it was just used my hot glue and wrapped it in a spiral. So I have my glue gun going and just showing these off. These are cigar boxes. I keep a lot of my notions and things in them. I had an art professor once tell me, to use them. I happen to like decorating them. And this one has beads in it. So I'm going to hot glue some of these beads onto the mask. I also think maybe add some lace to it. A lot of little ideas. As you noticed earlier when I was trying to show off these little bedazzle type things here, the lid was taped shut, but then I actually ripped it off. Oops. Okay, so I think I'm going to bedazzle this a little bit. How about the pink ones right in the corners of the eyes, like that. If you know me, we have chickens, and all these feathers were gladly donated by them. Nobody hurt the birds, they just molted, and that's why we have feathers. I find them, and when I'm collecting eggs, I'll put them in my pocket, and I'll maybe clean them off with my fingers a little bit. Don't do too much to them. So what I want to do is just kind of like make a little bouquet of feathers and put them on the side of the mask. It's funny, I can look at these and I know exactly which chickens they came off of because we have quite a variety. Now I'm going to fix the chopped sticks to the side. Probably have it like somewhere going right along the edge. I'm a big fan of day glow colors because in the end I want to be able to turn a black light on these and see the masks look back at me. You really need to be patient with the puffy fabric glue. Just like anything else, it'll take a while to dry. So I'll probably just kind of have to set it and forget it for a while. I like the way this looks though when it's done. So my fabric paint is still very wet, so I'm just going to kind of leave it for a while. Right now I'm going to ask my assistant Mariah to turn off the light. And there's the black light over it. You may turn the light back on. Thank you.
There's Mariah.
Ta-da!